welcome to the Iron Oaks Fitness and Racket Center. My name is Prospero Elwood. I'm the wellness supervisor and personal trainer here at the facility. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises, stretches and exercises to help you with piriformis pain and piriformis syndrome. First thing we're going to do is use this foam roller to inhibit the piriformis muscle. It kind of runs from the back of the hip and across to the femur. So we're going to use this foam roller to actually inhibit that muscle, which will help it to relax. So what you do is place the roller down on the ground, and then you first have a seat on the roller itself. You can kind of put your arm behind you. If it's your right hip that's bothering you, then you'll take your right hand behind you, put that on the floor, and then take your right ankle and put it on top of your thigh. From there, that'll help open up the area. And what you want to do is kind of turn yourself in over to that hip so you can get really into that problem area. You'll be able to feel it in the most tender areas or the areas you want to work on. And you can kind of roll back and forth over that spot. You can turn further into it or further out. Just kind of feel where it is tight for you, where it's bound up. And from there, give that about 30 seconds at the epicenter of pain, and that should get it to relax. By the end of it, it should feel a lot less painful. The next thing we want to do, now that that's been inhibited and relaxed, we actually want to stretch it. It'll stretch better after doing the foam rolling. So a couple different ways you can do this stretch. First one I'll show you is laying on your back with your legs bent. From here, say it's that right hip again. You just take that right ankle, put it over that left thigh, kind of like you did for the foam rolling. And then from here, to make it just an easy stretch, you just pull that knee across towards your left shoulder, coming across the body. And that'll give it a nice stretch through this piriformis area. Now, if that is too light of a stretch or you need a little bit more, you can actually go right hand through the hole here, left hand around the leg and grab it, and you can actually pull that, and that'll give you just a deeper stretch with it. Now, with that stretch, you want to hold it for about 30 seconds or more, and you can do that 3 times in a row. You can alternate sides if you'd like. From there, though, we want to make sure that we activate some areas to integrate that muscle and use it for some of these things to open it up. So what you do, first thing here is a pelvic tilt. This is just to help strengthen the abdominals and activate that area. So what you do, laying on your back with your legs bent, you're going to use your abdominals to actually tilt your pelvis back. So I'm kind of pushing down my low back into the mat, and then you relax and repeat. And you might even feel that stretching in the low back if you're tight there. And you would just want to do this about 12 times with a good activation of that area as best as you can. You should feel those ab muscles tightening. And then that'll lead us into the next exercise. That one, like I said, do 12 repetitions. This next exercise is the bridge. And I actually like to call it the pelvic tilt to bridge because you're going to use that pelvic tilt to establish the bracing first. So you go pelvic tilt, and then you maintain that brace and bridge up, squeezing through the glutes as best as you can, and then back down. Now, as you do this, if you put weight on your heels, it actually activates the glutes better. And we want those muscles to help contribute to this exercise. So you go pelvic tilt, keep that really nice and tight, bridge up, squeezing through the glutes. That pelvic tilt will help protect your spine. You don't want to arch your back when you're doing this because that'll just further the pain. So pelvic tilt, maintain that, bridge up, and going to go for 12 to 15 reps there. Okay, one more exercise for you to help integrate that piriformis muscle and also the core muscles with it. This is called the clam shell. What you do for this exercise, you'll be laying on your side. I'm going to be laying on my left side to work my right side. With it, I want a small bend at the hip and then about a 90-degree bend at the knee. So if you're looking at it from up top, you see about a 30 to 40-degree bend here and a 90-degree bend there. Now, that pelvic tilt that we were practicing comes into play here as well. So you don't want to arch the back. You want to use your pelvic tilt to kind of activate those abdominal muscles, and then you maintain that brace and that tightness through the core. Keep the pelvis stationary as you rotate this knee upward. Okay, the tendency here, what I mean by that is the pelvis will want to roll back. We don't want that to happen. You want to use your core muscles to lock the hips in place as you lift that knee up. And what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be using that piriformis and the gluteus medius to actually rotate your femur within your hip socket. If your hip is moving, that rotation doesn't happen. So make sure you lock it and use this muscle to do this lifting. Going to go for 20 reps here. It'll feel like a lot, but you want to make sure you get 20 really good activating repetitions, and that would be great. So to help get that piriformis relief, we start by first inhibiting the muscle using the foam roller, then lengthening that muscle using the piriformis stretch, and then third, integrating the core and that muscle into some movement. So as you do that, you get a more well-rounded approach. If you feel any pain or discomfort with these exercises, back off. And if you need to see a doctor or a physical therapist, be sure to do that.